So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's going out. Don't you know?
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club Roundtable podcast, where five friends count the days until the new Columbus Crew season begins
close.
here. And are we counting the days? Yeah, it's like 26 days.
I have no idea.
With me in the club are Ben, Mort, Trey, and Haws. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, so we got
Hey,
a
Mars!
few things to.
Hey, Mars.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Good, I'll turn that down in the post. Okay. So on this episode, we're going to go through a few housekeeping items. We did do a interview. I missed that one a few days ago with who was
Brandon Starkey. He's got the keys to the stars.
it? Okay.
Oh.
Well, and so I'm glad you brought that up because we did see a leak of the new black kit, at least, and there were many stars, more than we're used to seeing. Did you guys see the leaked third star kit?
Unbelievable.
I'm buying
Unbelievable.
Can you buy them now?
Isn't it the
Yeah.
same jersey just with an extra star?
Oh, yeah.
And a championship patch.
That's a championship patch too.
Ooh, I
Okay.
kinda like that.
All right,
I wonder
all
if you
right,
could buy
all
the
right.
championship patch a la carte.
I mean, I feel like you're not appreciating the importance of that star. Like,
No.
because there's a lot there.
I get that.
if you bought...
Look, okay, so
Okay.
when you look into the sky and you see the stars, like, I know that they look small and you could be like, meh, but like, that those are giant exploding balls of gas that are like billions of light years away that are, feel like you're discounting the
All right.
gravity. If
You know this, right?
I
Mort?
will buy it. I got to buy the jersey, right? Okay. Take my money. What is it? $200 for the stars?
it doesn't matter what it costs.
the
Memories. The memories. When you see the
memories.
star, you think of the Wise Men song. Anyway, okay, so
That's it.
So that
You
looked
just
good.
think of the
There
song.
were.
Look
Yeah.
at the stars.
So I have a
How
velocity
they
kit. Can I
shine.
Don't say that.
Oh,
Don't say
no,
that.
don't do that.
It ain't biscuit. I don't know them. I don't know it.
As
Can
you
you
can tell,
get the third
Haws didn't
star?
make it out of January.
Yeah, you went from dry to damp.
You're gonna have to throw
Dampen up the end of this January.
So moist.
Yeah. Stop. Mort, are you still dry January?
Yeah, I have to watch you guys drinking bourbon. It's horrible. It's absolutely torture.
He told us he's doing dry. What's the next month?
I mean-
February.
The next month? What's the next month?
Come on, Mort.
February?
Some months
Yeah,
only
exactly.
have 29
Calendar.
days.
It's a leap
At,
year.
at least it's
too.
the short month.
Yeah, it's a
right?
leap year.
Well,
Is it
yeah,
longer this
bummer.
year? Hold on.
Yeah, it is.
Is it leap year?
It for sure is. Yeah.
Ugh.
Come on.
I know
yeah.
you don't know a lot about stars, but like.
Or calendars.
Case in point. So can I have the velocity kit? Can I get that third star sewn on? It's the
No.
same. It's the same
joke
jersey.
I
right?
told last year. I said we should sell stars because because like the official costs like $200 and the knockoff costs $100, so we could sell stars for $10 or something.
Makes sense.
Anyway, we're opening up a e-commerce website, and stars will be among the offerings that we have.
True.
In addition to the photo that came out today, which is Monday the 29th, yesterday there was a big jersey leak.
Leakies. Yeah.
So many leaks. I think we actually
Where are you going with
we
this?
had a
What are you gonna say?
we had a first look at the Columbus Crew leak, right? Were you going to post that?
I think it's going to be posted later. Yeah. Later this week.
By the time you hear this, we will have posted the Columbus Crew.
I'll
jersey
post it
leak
when the
that-
podcast.
I think it
is
was
up.
the
It'll
leak
be
for
right
next
over
year's
there.
away, though, wasn't it? I think it was for next year's
I'm gonna
away
say it's
jersey.
home.
Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out.
Keep your eyes to the ground. You'll see it.
All right. So, did you guys see the other leaks? What did you think?
I liked a lot of them.
I was surprised too.
I thought they were all horrible.
Yeah.
And what?
Much.
So they came from the thing was EAFC, the video game leaked them somehow.
Correct.
Yeah, leaked them on one of the pictures, so not all of them came out, but there were quite a few. I think it was about 12 of them or something. That
So
were
we're
leaked.
blaming video games. Typical.
Yeah,
Typical
that's
boomers.
what it is.
Same with my wife.
The only thing that makes me
blame her for
curious
everything?
is all the what was it, NSL teams that have a 50-year anniversary have their retro logo on their jerseys.
Oh, Retro's doing a
So
lot of
the
heavy
question
lifting
is,
in that.
could there be another team with a retro logo on the
All right.
jersey?
So
next
we'll,
year?
we'll share. If you haven't
Some hard
seen
hats.
these leaked jerseys, we'll share them so you can look at them and weigh in. I just felt like they all kind of looked like it was like a 70s vibe.
They were kind of cool.
kind of.
Like
I like the
Colorado
RSL one.
Yeah, was it? Or was that RSL or Colorado that had like the?
They had like the mountain
Yeah,
range
okay.
on it,
Yeah, it was like stripes going up, and
Yeah.
then
I thought
the
that
mount
was
range
kinda
topped
cool.
it.
which is
I thought it was
also
cool.
kind of like Utah Jazz jerseys of the past, and their ownership is one and the same now. So
Wow, it's almost like Miami doing the Dolphins. That sentence was real weird, but like you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not
and
allowed.
I know I mentioned football, American football, last episode. I haven't watched much American football. I did catch a couple of the a few minutes of each conference.
We just call it
championship game
football here.
yesterday.
By the way, I learned
Well,
that. I'm from Europe, but I learned that we just
But
call
the
it football.
listeners.
Oh, the international listeners.
I don't know what the listeners say.
I'll give you a
The
hint.
international listeners
Under
will
1%.
say American football.
All
That's
they
right.
do is listen. I never hear them.
It's the hardest
part. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that it's a nice short off season, but I'm missing watching the football.
They call it
You
football,
guys have teams, right? Like you have teams that you watch, like overseas, or are there any? There are no domestic leagues going on right now, like an XFL. Has The Rock started a soccer league yet in the United States, or we
No.
could
He has
follow
not.
like
Vin Diesel's got one in the works.
like
Wow.
Lima, Ohio FC or something.
The Foot and the Furious.
Peoria Sporting. No.
I heard they're going to join the U.S. Open Cup next year, though.
You got
So
to.
over the years, I've tried to like follow. Especially when I didn't have kids, we used to get a lot of Premier League and Serie A games. I know Haws and I used to watch a lot of that when we were playing music and that kind of thing. But we used to watch Everton when Tim Howard was on that team. I think we've even got a Chang beer Tim Howard logo floating around the house here. Man City
I love
in
that.
2010 or whenever they were
Pre-oil.
whenever they knocked United off at the last minute. A couple of you guys are United fans, right?
Shots fired.
Oh, wow. Way to start. Dude.
Oh, there
And
you
then
go.
Ben, of course you're a Tottenham fan, right?
Yeah, okay.
Boys,
That's-
come on, you Spurs!
So why?
Yeah,
like,
that'll-
how did
that'll
you
be
get
short.
to be? How did you get to be a Tottenham fan? I guess
It's
I
all
feel
the trophies, Ben, right?
Let it happen. Let it happen. I'm gonna let it rain over. me.
Haws,
Sell it.
do you follow a team outside of the crew?
Other than the U.S. men, the national teams, I guess, U.S. women as well, but and mostly just follow, not even very closely, but keep track of those players and how they play with their clubs, but
Yeah,
don't have a team that I follow
That's
specifically.
what Ben just did that last season, right? We were doing. It was because it was leading up to the World Cup, right? We
Yeah,
were doing a
that's
lot.
where
Of,
I
like,
Cup
Let's
stuff.
not do that.
Yeah, please
Well,
don't.
Yeah, I don't have enough time.
But yeah, so Haws, it's tough to follow the national team because they just play so infreakly, right?
Correct.
Like you follow them when they're playing, but like
If they even
you
have
couldn't
their full
fill an
team.
off season with like what a national team does unless you were like in a tournament or World Cup or whatever. So I'm interested to hear Ben, how has Tottenham been doing this off season?
Well, it's not off season for the English Premier League, but
I know that. Yeah, I know.
They-
I mean, how have they been doing while the Crew is off season?
yeah, they've been doing pretty well. It's been kind of an up and down year for Spurs, but I actually had tweeted out because I had thought about this because like you don't have a team and Haws doesn't have a team, and I knew that. And I was like, I might ask people to like send in stuff because I know a lot of we're having a lot of new fans, like new soccer fans in general, come to the Crew, and they're like, you know, like we have it's sold out now for the entire season for season tickets, and I just assumed that everybody had followed soccer previous to the Crew. I know like Mort and Trey and I had played growing up and we had followed it growing up. And I was like, oh, and the more we talk to people, they're just now getting into it. And there's just a lot more soccer out there to consume. So I'd sent out like, well, you know, like Mars doesn't have a team, Haws doesn't have a team. Maybe let's like do an elevator pitch for them. And so I've reached out to some people unbeknownst to them and kind of ask people to, you know, do a pitch to them. Like, you know, you like the Crew, you follow the Crew. What other teams do you follow and why? And try to persuade you into liking one of these teams.
Yeah. So, and we talked about this earlier, and I'm interested to hear your pitch, Ben.
Yeah, I
Why
wrote down some notes, you know, real quick before I did this. All right. So Tottenham's a team that plays in the Premier League. They're from London. I started following them because I had a good friend that lived, his parents in Europe. A lot of people are like hometown fans. So like he lived right down the street from White Hart Lane. So his whole family has been Tottenham fans for like 100 years or something crazy. So I started following them that way. When I started following them, Clint Dempsey was on the team, which was a US player.
Yep.
So like I had that connection, just like how you had like
Deuce.
Yeah. And they had kind of a recent history of taking on players like Brad Friedel, who played for Columbus, is a Tottenham legend. Casey Keller, DeAndre Yedlin, CCV, who is not an MLS
Friedel
player,
and Keller are both keepers, right?
Oh yeah. They're big keepers, big boys.
They play at the same time? They do your double keeper idea?
Not yet. They're about to. They're about to.
All right.
Currently,
I feel like you put me in like the interviewer seat now, so I'm like, you know.
Oh, you can pepper the questions.
I'm anxious to hear.
Currently, they have a coach that is
Let's
very
ask
much
about the success of the club. How about that?
Yeah, all the trophies. Tell me
Okay, so
about trophies.
do you
Tell us
follow?
about it.
So that's a question. Do you follow a team because they have trophies? No, you follow because you have a heart and a soul, and you're a human being. So
I root against teams that have the trophies.
Yeah.
All right,
Totally. So
Haws,
perfect.
sounds like Haws could be a good candidate.
All right, so check this out.
For your
So
campaign here.
This last season with Nancy, we scored a bunch of goals. We played three in the back, a 3-4-3, or a version of that. Very high intensity, high pressure, and we scored a lot of goals. The current manager for Tottenham does the exact same thing. He does a 3-4-3. He's known to score a lot of goals and give up a lot of goals. So they are extremely fun to watch. They just set a record for having the most consecutive goals in games for the Spurs. Without Harry Kane. Boom. Don't need him. Okay. And Bayern right now is second in the league to Bayern. But that's a whole other thing. Leverkusen. The good news is, like you all been saying, if you want to enjoy the Spurs and follow them, you're not a bandwagon fan because they don't really win trophies. So it's not like you're,
Where are they in the table right now?
I think they're fifth currently, but it's in flux. So they're just outside of Champions League, which is the top four.
Having previously watched Everton, I'm used to seeing like an 8 or 9 spot on the table. You know, I think Everton was always hovering around the exact middle of the table when I watch them. I don't know how they're doing these days.
No, that's same story, except
same story.
They got deducted some points, but
yeah, even worse.
Okay.
Speaking of being deducted points, my last point for this team is that just like the Crew, they are owned by a group, and also the main chairperson is from England. So they're not from Oil Town. They're not from anywhere crazy. Daniel Levy is known for, like Bez, for making the most out of his money and being an awesome businessman. So now that a lot of people are losing points, if you're not familiar with financial fair play over there and with that oil money, like he's going to be completely fine because he does everything just like best. It's kind of annoying,
though,
but
okay. But Jimmy Haslam is not English, and he is an oil man. Doesn't he own a bunch of gas stations?
But in my defense, who doesn't own a gas station? But
He's like second-tier oil man.
Yeah, he's an oil buyer.
Yeah.
I mean, a buyer is different than like a Saudi Arabia money.
It's like the difference between big oil and small oil.
I like how you're selling Daniel Levy. It's like some very likable owner
he's
of
not.
the club.
He's not.
Ben.
He's
But-
like anything but.
But he's English.
It's better than the Glazers. I can tell you that.
Exactly. So it's someone, and he
Okay,
tried to buy the
and
club
so
in '88
then-
and didn't buy them until 2001. So he's been on the Spurs radar for well over a decade before he bought it,
Yep.
and he's the longest sitting chairperson in the English Premier League currently. So like he's been a fan since day one.
Oh, he needs to get an Apple Watch and tell him when to stand. Hey, so
That's a long 30 seconds.
Hey man,
hold on. So I had a question for you. Oh, what is a Hotspur?
it's a chicken.
It's a chicken.
It's a cock on a ball.
I think it's it's dicey. That's
That's
not
the logo.
That's the logo.
That's the logo.
that's
I just found out the Hotspurs is from a person from Shakespeare. That
really?
The family owned land in where they used to play their games, and his nickname was Sir Henry Percy, but his name was Harry Hotspur was his nickname.
interesting.
But why?
I think
I
it was
like-
something with riding horses.
Oh
and
man,
stuff
history's
like that.
so lame, right, guys? Up top.
It was called Hotspur as the Scottish praised his incredible speed on his horse.
Spur.
Yeah,
So Hotspurs.
Okay.
So
sounds like horsepower.
torturing the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Send us your clips if you watch a team outside of the crew. We want to hear about that. Ben, I think you've made a convincing case for Tottenham for
It
Haws.
doesn't feel like it.
I want to hear more. Trey and Mort, I know, are United fans, but we've got some other folks that are that have been on the show that have sent some clips in too. So I want to go through that in the next few weeks. For now, let's cut over to our interview that you guys did earlier in the week with Brandon Starkey, the creative director for the Nordeca.
Oh yeah.
Let's cut over to that now, and we'll be right back. Girls, come to story time. In the great green room, there's a telephone and a red balloon.
Please don't do this. Goodnight Moon is for babies. It's a board book, dude.
Okay, fine. What's it going to be? You guys pick.
Okay, we love this one.
Oh, A Massive Collection Volume 1 by Steve Sirk. You know, this is the first wide-ranging collection of his work. It features long-lost stories dating as far back as 97. It has a lot of popular favorites from over the years, too.
Well, what is volume 1? Like it's quiet?
No, it means it's like the first of a larger set.
Oh, okay, so where's the next one?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because Volume 2 just came out. You can get it at Steve Sirk's website, circbook.com. It'll also be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Links will be available at
We are
some
not
point.
listening to you. Just go order it.
All right, we are here with Brandon Starkey, or as I like to call him, the Key to the Stars. Thanks, I thought of that myself. You are first and foremost, the Nordeca creative director, but we really just want to talk TIFO talk. I just want to talk TIFO talk. But welcome to the club.
Thank you. We love to talk about TIFO.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. We have so many questions. We've been trying to pin you down. I've been like emailing. I'll meet people and be like, cool, like, yeah, we don't really want to talk to you. I kind of just want to talk to the guy who runs TIFO, and they're like, he doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you. I'm like, dang. But we finally got him. It took us, a year of doing the pod. So we have like a bunch of questions. But to start out, I just want to ask you like we normally do. I want you to plug all your socials, where to find you, all that fun stuff.
So the easiest way to get a hold of me is probably, I'm actually very active on the Nordeca Slack. Like, we have a TIFO Sweat channel there. Twitter, well, now X, the TIFO Sweat account, and anything that I post there usually gets boosted by the Nordeca socials. So following any of those things is a really easy way. And then, of course, you can email me at any time at creative@nordeca.com.
I love it. I love it. So you're really active in the Slack. Yeah, I joined the Slack, and for some reason, between that and the Discord and the Twitter, and my life is terrible. It's like hard to follow all that stuff. But
I find that Slack is really good for me. Just it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
it's different for everybody.
I don't even know what Slack is, so that just tells you everything you need to know.
All right, Boomer Mort's here, everybody. So, what's a computer? All right. Well, we always ask everybody that comes on, because we're always super interested, because all crew fans come from all different walks of life. What's your crew origin story? Like, how did this start?
So I filled in for a friend that used to come out for crew games before I ever was involved with sports. Period. I think there was a game I went to in 2012, and it was really fun. It was just a cool atmosphere. I'm like, I'd never been to a soccer game before in my life. I'm like, this is pretty neat. Mm-hmm. And then I think the following year, those friends actually ended up moving to Columbus, because they always came from wherever else to go to games here. And I want to say I did like a 4-match pack in 2014, and then became a season ticket holder in 2015. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Nice.
That's awesome. So you did you play soccer growing up? Were you like into all that stuff? I think you grew up out of state, right?
I am from West Virginia. I was a band geek. So yeah, definitely not athletic. Okay. I love to be outdoors. I do love to be outdoors. I love to hike. I love to camp. I love fishing. Like, it's great, but I am a geek more than anything else. And anybody that you meet who knows me is probably going to tell you the same thing.
It's too hilly for a flat.
Hold on. You just told me you're
kids.
A band geek who loves the outdoors.
Yes.
I feel like those things are like, I love going outside and camping, but also like band stuff. What'd you play? Like, what'd you play in the band?
What didn't I play? Like, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, I changed instruments a lot. My senior year, I was drum major and field commander. So, but I started on clarinet, transitioned to trumpet, but I had played pretty much every type of saxophone, did some auxiliary percussion, anything brass. Like, I had a French horn attached to me for a while at one point.
Wow.
Have you ever sat in the Nordeca brass?
I have not. Wow. I'm usually too busy with other things. They're a good group.
How about this? At some point, I'll have you go up there, and I'll take over TIFO stuff, so you can get your like. I'll give you a French horn. We'll find a French horn or a vuvuzela.
Yeah, a vuvuzela for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, don't go there.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So, before we get into the TIFO stuff, I wanted to touch briefly on the creative director. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
How's it feel, champion?
It's a good time. It's good to be back.
Yeah. For all those who don't know, he ran unopposed, so it was kind of a slam dunk. So you were the creative director last year, right? That was your first time being in the
Yes.
On the board?
Stepped in. I was appointed early in the season after the previous creative director stepped down, and I had been serving as a deputy prior, so it was kind of a logical transition. It was a continuation of things I'd kind of already been doing, so it was the way to go.
That's awesome. And Nick is your deputy?
Correct. Nick Chernick is my deputy this year.
Right.
Also super involved with Kathy Brava. He's fantastic. He's a wonderful individual. He was instrumental in so much of the stuff that we did last year, and I am grateful to have him in a leadership role this year.
I love it. That guy gives a big care.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We've talked to that guy kind of a lot. Awesome. Well, let's get into the TIFO stuff. First of all, you guys are coined TIFO sweat, right? And that is specific to the crew. So if you see TIFO sweat, okay. Where did the sweat come from? I feel like
the term was coined before I was ever involved, but I believe the phrase was, somebody had said, "There's no sweat like TIFO sweat," and it stuck. And that is where we are.
That's it.
Well, yeah, it's bananas seeing like what you guys do in such a short time that I can only imagine. It's like anytime I see it, I just feel like there should be a show where it's like, you've got 2 days to do this thing, and it's like they just like do a bunch of cuts and show all this crazy stuff. It just feels like it's crazy. It's just the timing.
You might be actually pitching a reality show right now. That could be a thing.
Even being involved,
TM, I called it.
Even being
Trademark.
involved, I still am absolutely fascinated by the amount of time that that we get things done in, and how it all comes together in the end. It still blows my mind, even for as long as I've been doing it.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. All right, so the TIFO, again, for the people that don't know, is essentially that ginormous art piece that goes up before kickoff, right?
Yeah. It's not limited to that, but that's generally what most people say. When you think TIFO, that's what most people say, but it does involve like any of those kinds of visual displays, like those choreographed things like flag signs, banners, all of that goes into TIFO.
Okay, so like pretty much any of the art and whatnot is directed from TIFO. So like if you see anything up there that comes kind of through you, I'm assuming it has to get approved by the front office. You can't just go willy-nilly.
Yeah, there's an approval process, and it doesn't, like, a lot of folks will submit things to do. People do things on their own all the time. As long as the front office says it's cool, like we'll definitely put it up there. And then of course, we do stuff, of course, with local supporters and folks that get involved with us to start.
Yeah, sure. So, in a given, worst case scenario in a given week, I mean, you try to have a TIFO for every game, correct? Is that kind of what you want to do?
It's for the big games. It's for the big games, and I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but I'm like, I love when we have more of them to do and we have more reason to do them. But again, with the amount of time that some of these take, it's nice to have a little bit of a break in between. And of course, some of that's dependent just on the team schedule, because we have those match specific things, like Hell is Real and Soccer for All, and if those happen to fall together, guess what? We're just going to keep working through it. There's also there's other things that the team does. There are other promo nights that we look at things for. Obviously, the home opener, playoffs. There are things that you would never want to miss out on. So we always try to focus on those, and then just build some fun stuff in too.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But I just kind of keep looking back into, how, even iconic the cup this year was and the short turnaround time you had to do it. Let's just focus on that. So like, let's say worst case scenario. All right, let's actually start at the beginning. So how does something like this come together?
1996.
I'm trying to walk it back all the way to like, because I keep going like, oh, they meet and they do this, but like, all right, so we win, we beat Sensi, obviously, and then the next day you are tasked with, all right, we're having the cup at home. Explain to me,
I
like,
was working
kind
the
of
night.
That night.
I was working on the bus on the way back to Columbus after the Eastern Conference final. Like, I had been sending emails and started drafting schedules and had sent messages out to say, hey, we're meeting at noon tomorrow. Let's go.
Got it. So did you have, let's start with the design. So like, who comes up with the design?
We have a lot of artists that contribute. I always want more. So if you know anybody out there listening,
I actually
wants
do.
to spend
I know
some
a
time
couple.
designing for us. That would be awesome. I definitely don't want to risk anybody getting creative burnout, but we do have there's a contingent that really does a lot of the work for us, and I continue to be, again, amazed and just grateful for the things that they bring to us. And they're like, here, make this huge, and that's what we do.
So do you create the stuff? Do you have the idea and you have someone like sketch it out? Does someone go, or do you have like a, like you said, a contingent of people that like, once they know that it has to happen, they start sending you ideas?
Now it can vary. Like there were two of the designs last year that I had actually, one of them, like the design that we used for Soccer for All, I had actually drafted something, and now I'm not a graphic designer. I do have some art experience, but I'm a little bit slow in that area. So it's easier for me just to kind of build something and pass it off to somebody else to get it over the finish line. So I put that concept together, passed it off to one of our artists, and they delivered the product that we actually put on the field. Another one with one of the playoff designs, I had gotten a full panel that we really didn't have time to execute on, but we'd had this other concept that we were working with. And I said, hey, could you take this amount of space and work something into it? And that was how that came to be. So we had that staggered TIFO. So we were kind of storyboarding. There were a couple of other board members and myself that worked on it. And we had come up with the taglines based on some of Coach Nancy's interviews where it said, be intense, be limitless, be massive. And one of our artists was able to take the design that he had provided me with my feedback and kind of rework the thing. And it just gave it so much more of a visual appeal. So they're really great to work with. Like I've never had anybody bring me anything that was really that was bad. Like we have a good group that gets it, and they obviously care and they contribute, and this is how they get involved.
Is there some limitations, kind of like on the size, and is there some standard sizes you use, and what kind of materials?
It's different.
What does it go on?
I can't really think of the spec for the fabric off the top of my head, but no, we actually get these really, really very, very large rolls of fabric. And then that's all cut and sewn for what we need. I think it's probably about 5 feet wide. I can't remember how many feet are on the roll. I think it's like 320. So anyway, it's like thousands of dollars worth of fabric that we pick up and put together to meet the need. The thing is, we're only really limited by, I would say we're limited by our imagination, but that's entirely not entirely true. Because we've done bigger things, a lot of things.
That sounds like something Nazi would say.
We just be hoisted and stuff, right? So,
we have to be realistic because there are only so many hours in the day, right? And sometimes turnaround time is very important. But we can go with single panels. We can do separate panels. We do join panels. Like last year's Hell is Real, I was 3 nets across, so we could those were bound together. All of that was put together and could go up as a single piece. Whereas we've done other displays that were 3 completely separate panels that could be staggered, like however we wanted to do it. Single panels are pretty simple. I mean, it's kind of what we do, but I think this year I do want to try and branch out and see if we can do some more fun stuff. Like last year we played with some different silhouettes because, it does get a little boring painting a sail now and again. It's more fun to have some of those interactive elements.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and see what else we can work into things this year. Cause I think we set the bar really high last year, the amount of recognition that we got just, from the league and like the promos that Apple TV did that kept featuring our stuff. Like that was just so cool. And I think I said, we set the bar really high. So we gotta try and exceed that this year.
Yeah. I mean, the cup final was won. The Rock'em Sock'em robot is the GOAT. Like, that was just. I heard
that was some changes on that one in the last minute too, right?
There were definitely some changes on that one in the last minute.
Zelly left.
Surprise!
So, and I will say I'm typically one to shy away from anything that's player specific because we want to build the whole unit as one
for sure.
But also, we want our artists to be able to create the way that they want to create. And that one took the wind out of us for a little bit. So we're like, oh, we got kind of stuck here.
Yeah.
But, we were able to kind of turn that around pretty quickly.
Oh, that was an awesome one.
It was so cool. It was so cool. We actually took that back. That thing ended up taking us a lot less time because we were able to utilize the Historic Crew Stadium like we used to do. Back before the new stadium, we were actually able to take that over there for a day, and we literally got half of that thing done in a day. Whereas the other half of it, I think, had taken us weeks because it was so big, and we work like our TIFO space is so much smaller than the things that we create.
So it is, you paint, so you get the design, you agree on the design, the front office goes, yeah, that's cool, that's not crazy. You go, all right, sweet.
Yep.
You figure out, you roll out the fabric on, I'm assuming you're at like a warehouse type space kind of dealy?
Ish.
All right, you're at a Dave & Buster's.
Not really a warehouse, but it's attached to a warehouse, but we don't use that space. So
Got it.
It's not ours.
But just some place you can lay it out. You get it laid out, and then you have people, you said paint and like hand sew?
So no, we do sewing machines. I think with the last one we had 2 or 3 people running sewing machines at once. It just depends. It depends on what it is and kind of like the time frame too. And of course it's dependent on volunteers, but no, everything is initially measured, cut, and then it's all sewn together and whatever cadence it needs to be. Then it's hung up. We do tracing from there. So that part is a little bit. It's one of those things that's very time consuming just because
how do you get the dimensions? Like, because I've tried to draw something on like a bigger thing. It's like writing your full name. You get to the end of your name, you have to like, write it down the side because you didn't proportionally. Do you project it and shoot it or?
Yep, it is projected. Everything is designed, within, like, we try to work within certain scales. Like if we have an idea for like panel sizes, I think like a lot of common ones for us are like a 30 by 60. So that way they go up like a little bit past the goal and there's nothing there that's blocking that bottom. Like we don't have things that are hanging down. So they're actually lifted up a bit. And that's like a fairly common size because the nets are only 34 feet wide. So we just kind of stay somewhere under that. We found out last year, I think we actually measured the width of the space that we work in is probably about 32 feet. So we've tried to keep things around 30 because then we only have to shift one way when we're painting instead of having to go back and forth because we've got that foot and a half on the end that we still need to be able to paint.
Got it.
It was one of the things that we kind of, I think it was something that we kind of brainstormed within the last two displays that we did. We're like, oh, hey, this is actually going to help our production time. So if we can just scale these down just a little bit, it'll help us with getting these done faster.
So you don't have to be a professional artist or painter to get involved in this stuff. There's not like a creative barrier to be involved. There's no reason to be scared.
Absolutely not.
Got it.
No,
so you've taken out all the guessing work. Perfect.
Yes, and there are some folks that excel at certain things that love to do those things. There's always people around to guide any new folks that show up. So we have experienced sewers. Everybody's like there's a core contingent of folks who have been there and are more than happy to show new people how to do things, to make sure they're painting properly so it's not bleeding through and we're not having any paint accidents and those kinds of things because we do spend a lot of time sitting around watching paint dry, so it's important that it's done well so those dry times are a little bit shorter.
Yeah. Do you have music going on in the background?
Often.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was always scared. Like if I were to show up and I would start painting, they're like, "No, Ben, you idiot! That's not the paint." And then it's ruined, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I was just like so nervous.
We have everything. We have everything marked, and generally for us, there's not like if you can kind of just pay attention to where you're at. Like there's usually, it's not like we're dealing with like an entire rainbow. Typically, there usually it's like a handful of colors. Just make sure you pick up the right ones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The problem is I'm colorblind. So there you go. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, let's talk. So you've been at it. So you've been going for about a decade now. We've been doing TIFOs for a hot minute. Do you have any favorite TIFOs or ones that stand out in your mind, or kind of like when you're creating like something like, recency bias? I'm telling you, like the final one that was made into a T-shirt is phenomenal. And the Rock'em Sock'em is just like the absolute nastiest thing.
Revolution should be a T-shirt.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many that I have like a lot of fond memories of, and honestly, I think one of my favorite ones was one that was done at Historic, but before I was really involved, was the last one that we did that was honoring Zach Steffen before he left.
Yeah.
And I think that was in line. I want to say that was. Right. I think that was tied in. I think that was the same time that we had done it was what would have been the last Pride display at Historic Crew Stadium. So I have some fond memories of that, but it's like, I think honestly, it depends on the day. Like you asked me today and I want to tell you one thing. You asked me tomorrow, I'm probably gonna tell you something else.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to decide because like, just, again, seeing the end result of so many of these, it's just there are so many feelings attached, and like this year was so hard to choose one because like Pride was done with my input, and that was the first thing that I did as creative director. Like that was the first thing that I was solely in charge of, and I was so proud of it. But then
and how many colors were in that one?
A lot.
They're all exactly.
That one. It was a little manic, to be honest. It was very awkward to work on, but it's like, just remember the order the colors are in and you're not going to mess it up. But it was very, it was really different because, and especially because those circles, and those are based on the sidewalk outside of Stonewall, Columbus. That's where those came from.
Oh, wow.
And to be able to work with, to get all of those colors into the TIFO and just still have that fun, like, element of whimsy, it was really just important. Like, I just wanted to show that movement, but I also wanted it to be something that was like, that was us, that was Columbus, but yeah, it was a little wacky because, they weren't these like huge things of color because there was so much movement in that TIFO. Instead, it still blows my mind to see it lifted and just see the response to it was really cool. But yeah, we haven't done anything that's bad. Like it really is hard. It's like trying to pick your favorite child.
Yeah. Well,
is there a place we can go and is there a place where we can go and see them all? Is there like a gallery or like a place where we can?
Right? I feel like
it should be.
If we had a place to store them, because the thing is, these things are so huge, and there's.
Oh, I mean, even like online, like so you have pictures of them all, so we can go back and
a coffee
and see
table
them, or
book,
the original design, or something like that.
We have talked about doing something like that. I'm gonna see maybe what we can do this year, because there definitely needs to be some stuff out there, like for archival purposes. And I actually was unfortunately asked by the front office for I think it was the very last Goosebumps themed TIFO we did for Hell is Real. I was like, yeah, that's not around anymore.
Yeah.
So they were a little disappointed.
Oh,
but,
man.
That's
question.
Just the nature of what it is.
Yeah, attached to that. So you're done with them, right? They go up at kickoff. They come down. What happens to them after that? Do 6 boys steal them? Is that what happens? Like they stole the. They got a little 5-finger discount.
There's still a few that I have at the TIFO space, and actually the intent with those is to keep them because they were in good repair, and we can actually use them for doing some test lifts, so we can actually kind of play with things at the stadium. This again some things that we want to try to do with the rigging. And it's like, well, let's just use this art that we've already created. And then if it fails spectacularly, it doesn't matter because it's already been displayed. But for the most part, they go off to the great TIFO warehouse in the sky, and we move on to the next thing.
Man, you got to auction those bad boys off.
Yeah,
literally, if there was like a good one, or I had like
somewhere that's like, please don't. Yeah. I don't want one of those hanging in my living room.
I
like I love them.
Living room, it's your house.
I'd
bigger than my house.
Yeah. I mean, if they're that big, it's a comforter. Hey, honey, got new sheets.
So I think, but of course, there's a lot of resource restraints, and you talk about space restraints, and we've been asking this question about to people about Lord if Lord Guillermo came down. What is the wish that you would like to have? For the TIFOs.
I think for us, it's just really like a bigger space, because we have so many people that are involved and are wonderful volunteers. We had so many people that came out for the cup that it was almost impossible to move. Like, people were so excited, and I really, really hope that energy carries over into 2024, because just having all these new people come out and just be really excited and being able to participate when they just couldn't get to it before. And especially ones who brought some of their kids out who are participated, because they're going to be the next ones doing this before you know it. So
you shut your mouth
again. There's a lot of relationships.
So if you have a listener with a big warehouse, please let Brandon know, so we can.
Please.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I mean, that kind of brings us to how can people get involved? Like, what does that look like?
So for us, for me, I guess I'd say watch Nordica socials, watch and see when we have things scheduled, and just show up. Even if you can only come for an hour, that's an hour. Like, that's fantastic. Please come and see what you think. And it may not be for you. It may be your new favorite thing. Everybody's experience is different. It's just like, I'm not going to ever tell anybody how to be a fan. Like, that is your journey. I know my journey has been very different than the journey that some other folks have had. But yeah, it really does just start with showing up.
Awesome. I love it.
Awesome.
So,
Yep.
So how many are you trying to do this year?
So
at
the moment, there are three big ones on the radar for us. Obviously, the home opener, which we are starting production on very, very, very soon. Hell is Real is probably going to be the next one, and then immediately to be followed by Soccer for All. And that's just based on the assumption that that's going to be that first weekend in June. So it's going to be right after Hell is Real. So it'll be the first three,
and then MLS Cup.
And then yes,
again.
So once again, we will be doing playoffs and cup, of course. And then once the team has established the promo schedule and we have a little bit better lay of the land for the season, there's going to be some other fun stuff, I think. And if anybody has, anybody who's out there listening, if you have ideas for a match or something specific, get in touch with us, please come out and see what it's all about and share your ideas, because we definitely can use them.
I would be unbelievably curious to see how well that supporter supply shirt with the TIFO did. I feel like if you're not doing one like every single week and they're like, obviously amazing and super special, just run a small number t-shirt every single time and like kind of commemorate that game and that TIFO. And also I really think a coffee table book, man, if I had one for like the 2009, whatever championship, or like the last one at the old historic Crew Stadium, and like the first one at the first, like if I had those in a book, I'd buy the crap out of that book.
Hang it on the wall, art pieces, framed it out, put it up.
I would actually.
That's where you have
posters. Posters would be amazing.
Wall back here. Yeah, like those posters.
Great.
Yeah,
no, I love this. Like the thing is with these shirts, like I don't think that TIFO was even. I joke that it wasn't even off the rigging before people were asking like, "Where's the shirt? Can we get a shirt?"
Yeah,
that's.
So good.
I mean, we're there. We're spending like $100 on 2 beers. Like, I'll buy a shirt for $25 or $20. You know what I mean? Like, totally not a problem.
Yeah,
I bet this is. I do have another question here, but it's kind of a secret. I don't know, but can you give us any kind of like a teaser on what we might see on opening day? Or
it's gonna blow your socks off. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's socks.
You want to sneak peek? You gotta come out.
Socks.
It's he winked at us. So like, it's the socks that come with the Nordeca package on February 1st. It's just 2 socks. It's just one sock.
And
it just says. It just says, "Where's my other sock? Is it in the dryer?"
Shot glasses.
All right, so I really look forward to seeing that sock at the very end. So, last thing I want to plug, kind of before we go, if you can't make it out, your funds are not limitless, and obviously these things take a ton of money to make. Is there? I was told there was a wish list or something like an Amazon wish list.
Yes, there is a wish list. I'm going to make sure that it gets updated and probably posted on socials again soon, because I feel like it may not have made its way out again in a while. Obviously, to reach out, and we can get you a link to it if you can't find it somewhere else.
We'll put it on blast. There's 7 people that listen to this podcast, and they will know about it.
That is fantastic.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for joining the podcast and joining the club. I am obsessed with everything you do. I think it's wonderful. I think it's so important that people understand that there is a person behind this massive art piece, and it takes, a ton of people to get this stuff done, and it's just unbelievably important to like the fabric of the crew. Nailed it. Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So that's pretty much it.
It takes a village, and I'm grateful. I am so grateful for everybody that shows up and continues to do these things, because it's not always easy, and it's a big time commitment for a lot of folks. But the response on game day is 100% worth it. Whether it's from the fans, whether it's from the team, whether it's from the FO, whether it's from people clear on the other side of the world. Like it's awesome just to see that and to see it bring joy to other people.
I love it. It's one of our favorite things. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Excited about next year or this year.
Yeah, this year. Oh wow, it's
You're
coming
here
up.
For you.
Yeah, this year already.
All right,
less than a month, guys.
All right. Well, we end by saying "Go Crew." So let's pull up our socks. Wink, wink. Go Crew.
Go Crew.
Go Crew.
All right, thanks, Brandon.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Brandon, again. Sorry I missed the interview,
the best.
I'm told
he went to a show. He went to Thursday this weekend, and I was gonna go to the Thursday rival schools show, and I didn't. And I hit him up. I saw that he posted something, and I was like, oh man.
If it would have been around Full Collapse and not War All the Time, I would have been there.
Agreed. But I agree with that.
Rival Schools had me interested.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the lead singer, Quicksand.
When you're young, you do things that you regret. I don't regret anything I do now.
I don't regret anything I did.
When
I did tight
was
stuff all the time.
17. Haws, when did we go to the Warped Tour?
10th grade?
16 or 17.
Yeah,
We went to the Warped Tour. It was down at LC Promo West. Is that what it was called?
Was it
Promo
outside?
It was, yeah. In the parking lot.
We saw a band.
Yeah, I was there.
We saw, I know we saw Bayside, which we had previously seen at Midgard Comics.
Oh, wow.
Over on
I saw
Cleveland
I saw
Avenue there.
Red, Wanting Blue at Midgard.
Yeah, Columbus band. Yep.
Yeah.
Bayside was they're from New York. And anyway, all this is to say, we watched we saw Thursday.
When it rained.
And it did rain.
And he said
it
rain
while they
down.
were singing the song about raining. Yep, that all happened.
Oh,
so
man.
I was there. You were there. We didn't know each other.
I was there. Oh,
we were gonna meet. We were gonna meet in several years, but there were some beach balls getting hit around, and I spiked a beach ball at the stage, and it hit the microphone stand. The microphone just blasted the guy in the face. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we should probably set up that LLC we were talking about, because I'm going to need some.
We have to set up the LLC. Statute of limitations, right? Is that how that works? That was years ago. Man, that was my favorite Warped Tour. That was like Hot Water Music, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Newfound Glory, the drive-through stage with like RX Bandits. That's the first time I saw Motion City Soundtrack unsigned. Oh boy,
I feel like we were talking about Brandon Starkey.
Yeah, we talked about music with Brandon too.
Okay, all right. I
think Brandon would like a lot of that.
Okay, all right. So,
100%.
Sorry, I missed you, Brandon.
Paramore,
and sorry, I didn't miss you, Guy, in Thursday, 20 years ago.
Jeff.
All right, hey,
Spelled with a G.
I think you guys did that interview on Thursday.
We did.
Oh my God. That's a little, yeah. Okay.
All right.
On the nose.
So when we talked to Ty, on or offline, I think it was offline. He was telling us that as we talked earlier, the only thing different, no big deal, is the third star on the black jersey.
No big deal.
Not to mention all the exploding dust that I mentioned, but there is we believe through credible sources, the one I just mentioned, that there's gonna be a new banana kit this year.
Yes,
brand new,
back.
So I
Banana
think
kit
before we sign off here, I wanted to just compile a wish list that we could either separate or just put together. Maybe our ideas could come together into like a super banana of sorts.
Holy crap.
But I want to just go around the horn here and hear what your proposal for the new and improved 2024 banana kit would be. And
I think we know one thing for sure, right? We want the hard hat badge.
Let's just change the badge.
We'll start with you,
We'll
Mort.
Yeah. Start with Mort.
Yeah, let's
Tell
start
us
with
about it.
Mort. The badger.
Keep digging, Mort. Speaking of hard hats.
No. No, I want the
Okay.
hard hat
And-
badge. That would be nice. Maybe
Okay,
3
so
bananas.
these are
They
They don't
retro
do
kits, but they don't do
bananas and
retro
hard hats.
badges with them.
Be
I like it.
like bananas and pajamas, but they're wearing hard hats.
And no pajamas,
It's completely naked
which
bananas.
is just a banana.
It's a good thing they're only showing from
All
the
right.
waist up.
Eggs can be nude.
But that would just be the badge.
bush?
Right? And what would the
Bananas got a bush.
what the hell? What would the rest of the jersey look like?
Rockstar.
Mort wants a Barbasol logo.
I want Barbasol.
I would be all about a
3 black
Barbasol
stripes on
logo.
the
That was my
shoulder.
favorite. We've been over this, but Barbasol was the best sponsor.
Yeah, I'm still
Okay.
I'm still a Barbasol customer. Is that how you could describe
And you look
yourself?
great. You look
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
Lord knows
Donald
I'm not.
Barbasol's out there. We're looking for an ad.
Oh, Donnie.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Trey.
So
What do you want?
Going
got
out
the
of
idea?
going out of Mort's suggestions, I have no idea what he's suggesting, but that's okay. We're gonna move on. Yeah, Trey, go ahead.
What am I missing? You
I'm
asked
just
what you wanted
I'm a-
with the jersey. I want
Okay.
the old
The first one.
So
I
asked
actually
about the
have-
jersey, and you proposed a badge. Go ahead, Trey.
All right, so I'm going to paint this. So we've got the 2014 kit, which is the white Barbasol on the bottom with the black and yellow checker
Horrible.
across.
It's a horrible.
The one you
But
got
we're
cheese
gonna,
on it.
but we're gonna
You guys
reverse
both
it.
own it.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
We're gonna reverse it. We're gonna do yellow on the bottom with Nationwide logo, old crest, and white and black checks across the top.
Which old crest?
I want to see the 3 guys.
Whitening.
Yeah.
I want to see the 3 guys.
No, I think I said the 3 old
okay.
guys.
So take the old jersey,
So-
cut it in half,
and
and
Double it.
Yeah.
double it.
No.
Hold on, so
We're going
white-
a little retro, but we're
Okay.
gonna get the banana kit into it.
Okay.
So yellow on the bottom,
Okay.
white and black across the top, and then we're gonna actually, you know what? Let's throw the round crest in there. Let's mix
Oh.
it up even a little bit.
Road
And
Tundle.
Special.
Instead of
Frequent special.
Barbasol, we're
Okay.
going nationwide because we want to keep it real.
Or Nationwide Children's, because we were all for the children's.
Okay.
Yep. So that's why I would
For
do.
the
That's my
children.
wish.
I know. You
Haws,
guys
what
keep
about
pumping
you?
them out.
I don't have any wants or wishes, but I am predicting
Okay, is it my
a
turn?
collar.
Oh.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Collar boy.
Will it have like? Do they ever do buttons?
They do.
Did on
Not
the
often.
funeral kit, right?
Yeah, they did on the
Kit had
funeral
buttons,
kit.
no
Yeah,
collar.
funeral kit did.
It's going to be so cool. It's going to be a double color.
One
it's
down and one
it's
up.
button up. The whole thing. The whole thing is
That's
button
going
up.
to double.
I think the United Cantonau shirt did. Yeah.
It's a retro 90s. Come on.
What
now.
about like a
Can you do
Elizabethan
a zipper?
collar? Have they ever done the Elizabethan collar?
I know what you're talking about.
Like the puffy shirt?
Throwback to
Like the puffy shirt.
I don't like that.
the pirate shirt. Yeah, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look like a dog that is not
Kind of.
supposed
Yeah.
to.
Why don't they
More of a-
ask us for
Or-
inspiration?
Because of the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has something to do with that.
5?
Check
And
out.
our tweet. Good luck.
5.
All right, Ben. What about you?
Oh man, banana kit. Well, first of all, I'm
Couldn't they-
stoked they're actually doing a full banana kit. Oh, do you have one?
We don't
I
know
have one
that.
in my mind's eye.
Go ahead.
No, we do because Nagby had
Yes,
the
we know.
yellow
Well,
socks and the yellow. I mean, we don't know.
Wait, hold on.
Nagby
Before you
was
talk,
in a photo
can we
shoot
talk
and-
about the change in the yellow? Haws, I'm surprised you didn't mention that. Like,
I don't know this.
that color on those jackets is not our typical yellow. It's a little bit darker.
Like more
The
gold?
gold.
Is that
Yes,
what they're
it's more
trying to
gold. It's more yellowy
Interesting.
gold. I like it. It's
You know,
less
change the colors
pastel.
so that all the old stuff doesn't match. It makes sense.
do? That would drive me
There he is.
bananas.
Hey, if they have the
Full
same
on
yellow
brand.
on the shorts and the shirt, I'd be happy.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just
No, it is more.
Beggars
I
can't
was
be
only
choosers.
Gressel. It was only Gressel though that had
It's more the
different shorts.
2008 yellow, which is the Glidden yellow behind Mort, than it is the new
Yep.
Banana Kit yellow.
Okay.
So it's more that
I don't
golden
mind the old one, I
shower color.
That's not. That's not.
Jot
No,
that time down.
no.
All right.
No, yeah.
I realized Donald
All right,
Trump
Ben.
was
What's
in
your
the house.
proposal? Go ahead. Simple question.
Let's put this to bed. All right, so I'm thinking we all saw the photo of Nagby absolutely chisel fest, like full body. I think it's just that superimposed on the front, and the 3 stars go left nipple, right nipple, belly button.
That's an
Third nipple.
That's
No
an
crest.
insane.
No crest.
That's an insane proposal.
So it's like what are the little muscular kids competition?
Yeah, so I saw
Little buff boys. Goose.
little buff boys. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
man.
I think it's gonna be that. It was such an iconic photo.
So you're saying when he had the photo shoot and wearing the yellow shorts, yellow socks, and yellow jacket, he had nothing but below underneath. Oh no, he had
Yellow body
a
paint.
new shirt, but he looked like he had nothing underneath.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just his own body.
Yeah, his own body. on the photo
That's
shoot.
what I think. That's what I would do.
And it's a slim
You know,
fit too.
Rainbow, a Columbus band, used to sell band T-shirts that were just like flesh tone with a bunch of chest hair like printed on them.
Really, they did?
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
like a nude body shirt,
that. Okay.
but like not attractive. Yeah.
yeah, so they were ahead of their time. I was
Yeah.
thinking of those vacation shirts where like they're really baggy, but it has like the body with the bathing suit on. That would be what we do for the crew with the banana kit.
Mm.
But it would be a yellow body, like you're a minion, but like stat.
Simpson.
That makes sense. So I think that's probably what it is.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
I think okay, so what if they did like this is my proposal and I'm making it up as I go because my initial response was to either have them like make the
Skins?
kit look like a banana, like a real banana, like it would have like some artistic bruises or something on it, but I'm gonna eject that idea because it's ridiculous. Like some of the other ones I've heard here. What if they did like a side? So it'd be yellow, top to bottom, and the jersey would have like a stripe where you would have the badge like down the left side, like just one vertical black stripe down here, and then they could put the current crest here with the 3 stars, and then they could put the other the historic, they would call it the historic crew banana kit, and they put the
with
old
the other
logos,
crest.
down like vertically stacked.
like
or
in
do
the
a
fabric,
star
or
next
like,
to each one because
like-
each one
There
has
you
one
go.
star.
There you go. Yeah. Now you're talking.
Oh yeah, look at that.
They would never do that because it probably breaks a bunch of MLS rules, but like that'd be
Most
a cool
definitely it does.
gift shop item. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want the steering wheel to just fall off.
I don't know what that means, but I gave you a laugh anyway.
Oh, okay.
I think
What
it already
if-
happened here.
I've got an idea. Regardless of what it is, there is a huge missed opportunity to not have the Chiquita banana logo in the middle of the banana kit.
Go Crew! Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew! I think we should probably cut somewhere around cock on a ball.